Eric's going to tell us about some recording studio design myths.
So Eric, what are some recording studio design myths that you've come across in your years of helping people debug their studio setup?
Well, the first one that I run into a lot is people who have, they think that they need to spend a lot of money, or they've got a lot of money to spend, and they want to buy all their equipment all at once. They say, I want to buy this and this and this and this, and I want to buy a computer, and I want to buy all these microphones, and I want to buy these amplifiers, and I want to buy these plugins, and I want to buy this interface, and I want to buy all these different things. They want to buy a ton of stuff all at once, and I totally don't recommend that.
Doesn't it just give them more options, though?
That's the problem. A lot of people, when they want to start building their home recording studio, they want to do everything. And they've maybe always had a dream of, I'd really love to have a home recording studio. I'd really love to get into that. Getting into that, if you're starting out, or maybe you've done a little bit with like a 4-track, if you're just starting out, you don't want to get everything all at once, because this equipment is often very specialized. So what you can, when you're starting off designing your recording studio, you'll think, man, I'd like to do this, and this looks cool, and this other thing looks really neat, and yeah, I bet that I want to have a tuning effect, and I'd like to have this other thing, and you get kind of an idea before you've actually recorded about all the capabilities, and you might have a salesperson talking to you, or a friend talking to you who says, this is really great, you gotta have this, everybody has this, I know that so-and-so uses this, and so then you start stacking out all these different things that you don't need.
Okay.
And so what I recommend people do is they start off with just one piece of gear. You know, they start off with one thing and they learn that, and then you add to each piece of equipment. And so then you kind of figure out your workflow, how you want to work, how you think of recording, and then as you kind of work out how you like to go, then you add in more and more pieces. And yeah, you probably will end up spending a lot of money when it's, years down the road of recording, but you'll have things that you really like, and you won't waste money on things that you don't need, that you end up selling on eBay for a quarter of what you spent on it.
Because usually what you run into is that people don't know how to use it, and if they don't know how to use it, then it's wasted, useless equipment to them. So it's better, for what I hear you saying, is it's better to buy small, really learn your equipment, and then buy your next piece of gear, then buy your next piece of gear, and learn that really well. So you add on kind of like little Legos at a time, instead of buying the big whole castle and having to sell it for a quarter of its cost a year later.
Exactly.
So what's Mythbuster number 2, Eric?
Mythbuster number 2, Jamie, is that you need to build a room. That you got to build some room. And a lot of people really get very involved in building out their room, and they got to get this soundproofing, or what soundproofing do I need to get, or all these different, added significance into building a room. But usually the rooms that you have in your house are just fine. A bedroom is a great place to record. It depends on what you're recording. If you've got a full band, you've got drums and bass and guitar, you're going to need to probably record in a place that's not going to upset people.
Not your kitchen.
Right.
Or the bathroom.
Yeah.
While your wife's there.
Yeah, because she might get upset with that in her cooking. It might spoil the cake if the guitar's too loud.
Especially if it's in the bathroom.
Yeah, that would be very annoying. So you don't have to build a room. You can build a room if you need, if you want to kind of take it to the next level, but it's certainly not any sort of requirement at all. I wouldn't think, oh, I can't record because I don't have a good room. A good room is nice. It's aesthetic and pleasing, and you have cool lighting and stuff. It's more fun to record in
You have to have the couch, recording studio couch.
Yeah.
And those like sexy mood lights, kind of creepy, kind of sexy. You actually don't need those things.
No, it depends on what kind of studio you have.
But you should always get a lava lamp. That's recommended.
Yeah, it's a requirement. Your recordings won't work at all, and nobody will like them if you don't have a lava lamp.
You can hear the lack of lava.
I've heard it. I've critiqued that in mixes before.
Yeah. All right, so Eric, what's the last myth to bust? What is the last thing that, of the 3 things that people need to know, can be debunked about setting up a home recording studio situation?
Well, this last myth, I'm probably going to sound a little bit grumpy of a guy here, but this last myth is that any musician can do it.
Do a recording?
Yeah.
So that's not true.
It's not true.
Just if you're a musician and you really want to record, and it doesn't mean you necessarily will be able to.
Yes. This is. I know it's kind of sad, and
That's
I'm kind
mean.
of. I know. I'm the Grinch who
I
stole.
want you to pat people's heads and say you can do it.
I'm the Grinch who stole the recording studio.
Yeah. All right. So why is that?
Well, basically, I say that because a lot of people think that there's something wrong with them. You know, they get their stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I heard that anybody can do it. GarageBand came with my Mac, and I can't run it. I don't know. You know, and they think that there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you.
You're just stupid.
Exactly. We're here to help.
Help you feel better about yourself.
Eric and Jamie's self-esteem. There's nothing wrong with you. You just don't actually know about this little piece of data. And I found that people who think that they know all about it and start running into it actually run into a lot of problems because they actually don't take the time to learn.
They assume that they should be able to do it. Well, you have to still learn it and take the baby steps to really read your instruction manuals and figure out what all this stuff does. Because just because you know how to play a guitar does not mean that you know how to play Pro Tools.
Exactly. So you take that little bit, you take the attitude of somebody who's learning how to do it, and you get curious and what does this button do and what does this button do.
Don't be afraid to mess it up and you really get in there and play with things and figure out what does this do, what does this do. Don't assume that you should know, because you shouldn't. You're learning a new skill and you're learning a whole new instrument. You should think of it as another instrument.
It really is.
For more information like this, feel free to visit our website.